In this video, we will understand what is ETL. So we are in module 2 and we are going to learn what is ETL and what is how Power BI is used to do this ETL process. So ETL means extract, E for extract, T for transform, and L for load. Okay, so extract, transform, and load. I have already discussed about what is ETL, the complete brief introduction about ETL in one of my videos. So I'll also drop this link in the description. You can understand about it. But anyhow, I'll give you a short understanding about ETL. So imagine that you are supposed to visualize the data, analyze the data, and give a good insight through Power BI, right? So in that case, what you have to do, what you need is what data, right? So you cannot assure that the data will come from only one source. The data may come from multiple sources, right? Multiple sources with multiple extensions. For example, one data may be in a CSV extension, one data may be in XLS, one data may be in DB, access DB, or one data may be in Oracle. So what you have to do is you have to extract all these data into the analysis format. Okay, so that is what extract means. You are getting all the data together. Okay, it is not only mandatory that all should be in a different extension. It might be the Excel format, but multiple data you have to analyze. For example, the sales happened in the last week. Okay, so last week 1, week 2, week 3. So you have to analyze the data of different weeks, which is in a different file. So you have to analyze all these things, right? So even this is also extract. Okay, you are extracting the data and you wanted to transform. Okay, what does this transform means? That you, if these data, okay, you have to check about the data type. For example, you may have the date column. The date column should properly in a date data type. Okay, if it is not in the date data type, you cannot analyze it properly. Okay, so you have to look into all the column, all the variables, whether all the variables are properly assigned. That is what transform. Okay, not only the data type, you will be checking for the data type. Okay, if you wanted to split the data, for example, if you have first name, middle name, and last name in a single row, single column, and if you wanted to split into multiple columns, then you can split the column. And if you wanted to merge the column, okay, that is also possible. If you wanted other than that, if you wanted to do some string operations, if you wanted to do some duplications of your column, so many things. Okay, we will be understanding about transform. And finally, after all these process, you have to load it into Power BI. Okay, so that is what extract, transform, and load. So we have Power BI. We will be doing this in Power BI. Okay, we have the transform ETL process. We can do the ETL process, but the expert level of ETL process cannot be handled by Power BI. Okay, why? Because for ETL we have a separate tool which are expertise in that particular thing. Okay, like you have Informatica, you have Talend. So I'm just writing a few ETL tools. You have Pentaho, you have MicroStrategy. So these are all specifically designed for doing this ETL process. If you wanted to do advanced level of ETL, but the basic level of extracting, transforming, loading can be done with the Power BI itself. So I'll be showing you what are the basic thing which you can do, which you can transform with Power BI. Okay, so let us directly go and understand what are the things which you can do with the Power BI. So I'll be telling some of the concepts today, and in the next video you can understand some more concepts as well. So here, this is what the data, this is a customer data which I have loaded. So once if you see the navigator window, this is the navigator window, you can find the option called transform here. Can you see the transform data? So you can directly click this in order to transform your data. Once you click transform, it will take you to the Power Query editor. Okay, you can see here that the name of this particular thing is called as Power Query Editor. Okay, so Power Query Editor, here you can see a different set of menus and um, uh, different set of view other than Power BI. Okay, so here if you see, you can see here that this is the home tab, and you can see what are all the ribbons which are available, like a new source, like if you wanted to get another source. And you can see some transform possibilities here. Okay, like if you wanted to choose any column, okay, if you wanted to remove the column, if you wanted to keep the rows, if you wanted to remove the rows, if you wanted to sort the data, if you wanted to split the column, if you wanted to do the group by, okay, if you wanted to use the first row as a header, okay, all these merge and append query, and these are all AI insights. Okay, here you can see some basic things. Okay, let us first understand the Power Query Editor clearly. And if you just click on this transform, okay, this is the second tab, okay, second menu, this transform, if you just click on the transform, you can see some more options as well, like a same thing which we saw in the home, that you use first row as a header, transpose, reverse, all these things which are related to table. Okay, and if you want to do some transformation with your column, then this is applicable. Okay, like a data type, detect your data type, replace, pivoting, convert into a list, move something, split the column if you wanted to format it in a different data type. Okay, text column, these are all the number columns. If you wanted to do some transformation with a number column, then that is also possible here. A date and time column, if you wanted to do something with the date and time column, and if you wanted to use the R script or Python script here. These are all the advanced concept. Okay, so what are, I'll also tell you what are the basic and intermediate level and what is an advanced. So here if you see, this AI insight is an advanced level. This also we will see in the further videos. So this is an advanced in the home tab. And in the transform, if you click on the transform tab, you can see that R scripts and Python scripts are advanced. If you should know the scripting language, okay, Python and R language you should know. And it's not mandatory to know in order to work with the Power BI, but if you wanted to do some extra stuff in Power BI, then this is good to know. And the third menu is what, add column. If you wanted to add the column, okay, if you wanted to add one more column or multiple columns, so you have some adding the column, we will look into all these things. And if you wanted to extract something from the text, okay, this is what from text. So here you can see, if you wanted to extract something from the number, date and time, and these are all the AI insights. So you can see some options which are repeatedly coming up, so don't worry about it, you can use it either anywhere. Okay, so this is view. Okay, I'll tell you about the view. So this is a view column, this is the tools. Okay, and the last one is the help. If you want to get the help about any specific topics, so you can get the help here. So let us first do the basic steps here. Okay, once you import any data into Power Query Editor, you can see some basic 3 steps which is automatically applied. Okay, so this is the query. Okay, whatever the data source which you are importing here, that will be listed here. This is a query pane. Okay, left side, and the right side here is where your exact data will be appearing. So you can see that if you open the Power BI desktop, you can see 3 icons in the left side, that is visualization, report, and visualization, data, and modeling tab. But that is not available in Power Query Editor, because here you can see only the data. Okay, because you are going to do some magic with the data only, so it will not be showing up. The right side you can see the property, where if you wanted to rename the sheet, you can rename it. Okay, and down you can see that applied steps. Okay, what are all the changes which you are doing it in the Power Query Editor, all the changes will be listed down here. Okay, and these 3 steps which is by default applied to the Power Query Editor whenever you load the data. So what is the step? It will tell you what is the source. You can simply go and check it. If you go and click here the source, it will show you what is the source. Okay, so the name of your sheet is what, sheet 1, and this is the table, and this is the item you have. Okay, sheet 1 kind, what is anything which is hidden? No. If you click on the navigation, it will tell you that initially it was like column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay, once you import it into the navigation, and automatically the headers are promoted by, if you click on this promoted headers, you can see the promoters are automatically it promoted the header when you loaded your transform, when you click transform, and if you loaded your query, power query editor here. Okay, so these are all the default changes which happened. Now whatever you do, whatever the changes you do, that will be applied here. Okay, so this is the basic about the power query editor. And what is the first step as a data analyst, or as if you wanted to work with any data? So first thing you have to check is what the data type, whether all the column are in a proper data type. So what does it mean? If you click on this customer key, you can see on the left side, top left, that is, it is showing it is ABC123. Okay, so if you see on the next column, it is also ABC123. And we will just scroll. Okay, we will just scroll little bit. Now you can see that the birth date is also showing up like ABC123. But what, how your birthday should be, it should be in a date format, right? Why it should be in the date format? If you wanted to analyze some data based on the date, then if it is in a string format, it will not give you the proper visualization or proper insights. So it should be in the proper date column. So what is that? This is what the data type. You have to check whether all the columns are in the proper data type. Okay, so let us just click on this drop down. If you click on this drop down, you can see some option. If you click on this ABC123, you can see what are the possible data types which are available to you. So here you can see that you have a decimal number 1.2 if you wanted to specify any sales. Okay, for example, sales may happen like 250.70. So this is a decimal number, this is a decimal data type. Okay, so you should check whether it is a decimal. Okay, whether it is a fixed decimal, whole number, a percentage, date and time. So you have all these data, but here it is giving you some combination of string and the number. Okay, so this is what the text. Okay, so it is showing ABC, and also this is what the whole number 123. So if you wanted to make it into a whole number, just click here, whole number. So it will ask you an option called, are you sure you want to insert a step? Inserting an intermediate step may affect a subsequent step, which could cause your query to break. Okay, so if you wanted to insert, okay, so click insert. So once if you click insert, you can see that a new thing has coming up here, that is a changed type. Okay, and you can see that this data type is changed into 123, which is only, it is a number. Okay, let us try to change one more thing here, that is the date column. Okay, you have to change everything, all these things. If it is a geographic key, you should see that whether if you can change it to any other, if you using if you wanted to change it to some. So one more thing I just wanted to tell you, that this change in data type can be done even in Power BI visualization. But anyhow, before loading the data, it is good to see this. Okay, so if you wanted to change this into a whole number, then you can change this. Okay, so you can change this to a whole number. And next one is what the customer key. So customer key should be ABC. Okay, by default it is ABC. Just scroll, you can go to the birth date. See, once I started to change one column, it automatically changed this birth date into the date column. Okay, you can see that this is what the date, and it is automatically changed. So this is what the power of Power BI. Okay, you have to check all these things before loading the data. So this is what we have did is what we have extracted the data. Okay, now we are doing the transformation process. Fine. So why it is showing ABC? Because you have a parenthesis here. Okay, even if you include any parenthesis, that will be considered as an alphanumeric. So by default it will show as a al string. Okay, So don't worry about this. Okay, this one is fine. So we have changed the data type. So what is the next thing you should do is what you should check for. First thing, you have changed the data type properly. Okay, and you have to see whether you need all the column. Okay, necessary column, you have to just think about your necessary column. Why I should think about the necessary column? Because if you load the entire column, so this is what I'm talking about, the column. Okay, these are all the columns we have. If I load all the columns, then what will happen is what I may end up with performance degradation. So in order to ensure that you have a good performance, then you have to go ahead with the necessary columns to be taken care. Okay, think through and select what are the columns which you want, and whatever the columns which you don't want, you can delete that. Got it? So if, for example, if you feel like I don't want this customer key column because I'm not going to do anything with this customer key. Okay, I wanted to analyze the data. I wanted to see that the highest sales or lowest sales, or which area it is having the highest or lowest sales. In that case, no problem, don't worry about the customer key. Or if you have any specific need of the customer key, then better keep it. Okay, so you have to think like commute distance, date first purchase. Okay, date first purchase is really I need it. Okay, so phone number, if you don't want this phone number, if you're not going to visualize this phone number anywhere, then you can better delete this phone number. Okay, how to delete this phone number? Just click here. You can simply right click. You can see various columns here. You have an option called remove. Simply remove it. Your column will be removed, and you can see whatever the things which you have changed, that will be available here. Okay, your column is removed. Okay, so what you have to check first, the first thing is what the data type. You have to check whether all the data are properly with the proper data type. And second one is remove, keep the necessary column. Okay, what is the next one is what you have to deal with the null values. Null values, deal with the null values. Okay, and think about the and then you have to think about other than that, if you want to split the data and merge the data. Okay, so these are all the checklist for every data analysis. So basic, these stuffs can be done with the Power BI. And if you want to see slowly changing dimension, that is not possible basically with the Power BI. Okay, so as I told, these are the basic things which we will be doing. So here I'm just stopping with the second step, like we have deleted the unwanted column. The next video I'll show you how to remove the null values, how to deal with the null values, how to split and merge the data, and we will also see all these options one by one. Okay, thank you, take care, bye bye.